into Wales. Wales through a goal, slots it beyond Foderingham, and the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box for Doffin, he can hit them, and he does. The Doffin has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.
Do me a favour, drop me off in Rotherham.
Hello, and welcome back. This is New York Talk, the Rotherham United podcast, and it's Derby Day. That's not a Derby Day. You get it. It's Sheffield Wednesday. We're playing Sheffield Wednesday. We will look ahead to the South Yorkshire derby on Saturday. What's going to happen? How it's going to play out? How bad is it going to be? We'll talk about it. Mick, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. No football to upset me this week, which has been a bonus.
Yeah.
Danny's back. How are you doing, Danny?
I'm all right, thank you, lads. I'm fresh from doing the Wednesday podcast, previewing the game at the weekend. So, yeah, hello.
And Tom's back. Sorry, how are you doing, Tom?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not as ill as you seem, so I'm all good.
Yeah, just talking about Sheffield Wednesday just makes me just get to it. That's all it is. Yeah, we've got loads of people with us. John S., Sarah Ogden, John Inchcliffe, Michael Carnell says, good evening. Let's get New York bouncing and get at them. Ryan Holland, Kelly Buds with us. Cheryl Stones says, Tom Hughes is going to score inside 5 minutes. And that's never ended in defeat before, has it? Yeah. Russ Furness says, can we sign Ben Pringle for the game? He loves killing pigs. Yeah.
We've got Jamie Lindsay.
Yeah, probably won't start. Mick, let's talk about. This is one of those games where you normally go. What we should be saying is this is a really, really big game for the league. We should be saying if we beat these, we're in with a chance of survival. This, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, that's not the case. At the end of the day, this is just let's hope we win a derby. That's the really sad state of affairs of our season, really, because this should be a blockbuster. It's not really.
It's not a derby. Before we start, let's just get that clear right from the off. It's just two teams from South Yorkshire playing each other that are only 6 miles apart, but it doesn't fall within the definition of a derby. So let's just get that clear right from the start. Yeah, it should be, but I think as the way our season's gone, I think the vast majority of our supporters are approaching this game as well, just another opportunity to drop 3 points. It shouldn't be. It should be. It should be a win. We 0-1 for the way we performed. Sorry, the way we didn't perform down at Swillsborough. So we owe them for that. But really, I'm not convinced there's a huge amount of enthusiasm for it, to be honest.
Yeah. John Morell says it's a rivalry, isn't it?
No.
Not a derby. No, see, I've been told that it's a derby. It's not a rivalry. I'll be honest, I don't even understand the difference. Does anybody have any input on the difference between a rivalry and a derby? Because Sheffield Wednesday seem to make up their own rules on this. I don't understand. Anybody got anything to add on that? I don't understand.
In all definition of the phrase, it is a local derby. However, only one side see it as a local derby, and the side that do see it as a local derby are the correct side because they play in red. Whereas the other side don't see it as a local derby because they think they're better than that, but they're not. So yeah, it is a local derby. So shush. It takes me less time to go on a coach there than it takes me to go on a coach anywhere else other than Bramall Lane. So it is a local derby. So shush.
Yeah, Alfie says, Wednesday are rival with teams, but teams can't be rivals with them.
apart from Leeds, I've found.
Nobody likes Leeds, do they?
No.
Patrick Bamford plays from Danny, so you know what we all think of Leeds.
True.
Danny, how are you feeling towards this game? Excited, nervous that it could get silly, just sort of apathy? Where's your feelings at?
It feels like this game could be a free hit if we lose but play really well. But if we lose by playing really poorly, like at Hillsborough, then everything's going to just collapse, I think, from the fan base, certainly. Anyway, so I think that's going to be the only pressure on us. It's going to be pride and redemption. And I think they are our two sticking points. On the Wednesday podcast, I said Wednesday are playing for position rather than playing for pride. And it just depends on which means more to either team. Wednesday trying to pull all the way out the relegation places, we're trying to make up for a poor showing. In a local derby, form goes out the window anyway. You could be winning however many games in a row or losing 6 in a row like we have. And then suddenly in a local derby, everything changes. I hope, fingers crossed anyway, that happens on Saturday for us.
Yeah. Heavy Metal Miller says, let's bring them down with us crunch match. There is that. Yeah. I think Danny's right though, Tom. Me, you and Kev did the post match after the Sheffield Wednesday game. I think Mick joined a bit late, but I remember you and Kev's face just sort of looking at our faces, the sort of anger that towards how that game went, because it was one of the most embarrassing performances in a South Yorkshire derby I can remember for Rotherham United. It was that level of performance. So to say that the players owe us one, it's a bit of an understatement. They absolutely owe us one on Saturday.
Yeah. And having seen, watched whatever Sean Morrison's interview, I feel like it does mean a lot, as much to them as it does to us, or at least that's how it comes out pre-match. We'll see during the match how much it means to them, but yeah, they don't half owe us one. It was pathetic, the last game, and bear in mind Wednesday were doing worse than us at that point, and that was tough to do. So for them to be doing worse than us and then say it how it is, they deserved the win. It was an appalling performance. Every person on that pitch played poorly, and it was the start of the downfall for Taylor. And I'm worried about this game because I don't want it to be lightning strikes twice. I hope it's not, but I'm scared that it's going to be the start of the downfall for Richardson. I hope it's not, but I can't see how, if it is a bad performance, that fans are going to stick up for him, and the chairman's going to stick up for him, because even though I don't agree with it, I think whatever happens on Saturday, it happens, and no action should be taken from. I can't see sensible heads being pulled through. So yeah, I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Tom. I didn't think of that, but now you raised it. Yeah, I could sort of see that making you. I don't think that we should under particular pressure, but if we put in a similar level performance, it basically cost Matt Taylor his job. Let's be right about it. If we'd have drawn against Sheffield Wednesday in the way, I don't think Matt Taylor would have lost his job when he did. I think it all played a part, and if we get an absolute spanking on Saturday, there'd be not many places to hide for Liam Richardson, especially with being in his own backyard.
Is that for me, that, Matt?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I don't think we've put in a performance as bad as some of the ones under Matt Taylor while Liam Richardson's been here.
Yeah.
You know, we put some absolute shockers in over the sort of the full season. He was here last season and this. The one at Swilsbury being probably the worst, just given the circumstances. I don't think that while Liam Richardson's been here, we've been anywhere near that bad. I'm not saying we've been great by any stretch. Please don't think I'm saying that. But we've not plumbed the depths of some of those poor performances that we did under Matt Taylor. So I think we can expect a reaction from the players given that previous performance. So and look at the way we have performed in the last 2 games. You know, for a full game over 180 minutes, over 180 minutes, we played really, really well. So we're not playing a decent team here. Let's make no mistake. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that just to fish for comments. You know, the second bottom for a reason. You know, because they've had the opportunities to pull away and they haven't. So, they're not Ipswich, who we absolutely gave a game to. They're not Southampton, who we gave a game to. They're not Norwich. They're not anywhere close to any of that level. So, we should, if we play to our ability, we will win it. We will beat them. But given the run up to this and the results that we've had, I'm as nervous as everybody else, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mick. But when you say the Ipswich and the Southampton, etc., and how we've performed against them, if you compare it to the times that we've performed against teams around us, we never do. We never turn up, which I think is the issue. I agree. If we play how we do in some games against, your Southamptons and your Ipswich, etc., and whatnot, you will put performance in that's probably deserving to win the game, but we never do it when it matters.
No,
which is the huge issue. Huge issue.
That's why we are where we are, isn't it? It's all right. Everybody can get up to play Leeds, can't they? Everybody can do that. It's easy, but it's difficult to get up against Watford at home,
Birmingham,
or Swansea, and
QPR.
QPR, yeah. We could probably name the full 23 teams almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Shelley says he can't deal with it if they do the double. We'll never hear the last of it. Our record at home against them is shocking. Correct me if I'm wrong, but other than the COVID season, can't remember when. Yeah, we beat them in the COVID season 3-0. We beat them in a League Cup in 2013, I think. But our home record against Sheffield Wednesday is absolutely dreadful. But our record at Hills was very good. So
exactly.
But we lost there this season.
On the flip side, on the flip side of it, their record at Swilsbury against us is really poor. So that it just equals itself out in that respect. But none of those things have a bearing on what happens on Saturday.
Yeah. No. Well, you said that, football, symmetry and all that. Danny, you said a minute ago form goes out a window. I think it does, but you've got to bear in mind, from our point of view, that we aren't a very good team. And that's probably underselling it a little bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, we've had good moments. Mick's right, over 180 minutes, there's almost a full game worth of good performances. But you've got Sheffield Wednesday, who have improved in form, and most importantly, they're fighting for their lives. They are the most dangerous teams to play. They're more dangerous than playing Leeds and things like that, because they will come at you and try and hurt you, no matter the circumstances. And that's why we've got to be on it. Otherwise, they could take it away from us very quickly.
Yeah, I agree. This is what I said on their podcast. Wednesday are a very good team at the minute. Their turnaround under Danny Roll has been somewhat short of exceptional. I think to the point where if they carry on, they could fully stay up. Like they are, annoyingly. But I think form's out the window in the sense that they've already played us once, and I think in all respects of it, they beat us quite easily. But now we're playing for, something completely different. We're not playing to try and catch anybody up effectively. We're playing to get one back against them. And referee willing, sometimes that carries you through a game more than trying to get up the league a little bit or catch somebody up. So it's a mixing pot, really, of a proper good old-fashioned local derby, I think, where one team's the more in form, one team's completely out of form, one of them's already done double over other one, and so it's going to be I wouldn't say it's going to be mucky football, but I think, I'll say this and it'll be complete opposite, but it feels like there's going to be a lot of fighting passion from us anyway, because Sean Morris has already come out and said that as a bit of a rising call, not just to the fans, but also the other players. And you never know, Wednesday might underestimate us because of how they played last time, which I think was Danny Roll's first game at Hillsborough, I think.
First game, first win.
Yeah, so, he might be thinking, I'll work these out. Never mind. Just play that way and we'll beat them again. But we'll have to wait and see. Now that I've talked about it and sort of set the scene a little bit, maybe I've got wrapped up in my own head and my own ability to sell a football game, but I'm quite up for it now, weirdly.
Okay, we'll see how you feel when you come to
come back to me again on Sunday, but I'm weirdly up for it now.
Okay, we'll see. One of the problems on the last game, Tom, that I thought played out, I thought Danny Rowe played the derby side of it very, very well. I thought he played in the media pre-game very well. He didn't hype it up like a mega game, but he did hype it up. The fans bought into that and everything else. And I thought Matt Taylor completely underplayed it. With even then, pretty much he sort of said pretty much he didn't understand the rivalry or that kind of thing before the game. Well, that was very clear on after he played the game. That's something Liam Richardson's got to sort out and make sure he understands that it's not Barcelona against Real Madrid, but it's a game that's really important to the local fans, for both sets of fans. And that's where he's got to drill into those players. I know Sean Morrison's talked about it, but it's massive for those players to understand that that's all we've got left to fight for, isn't it? That's all we've got.
Yeah. Similar to what Duff did at Swansea before he went. He downplayed the Cardiff game. He said, it's just another game for us. We're just going to treat it like one. Swansea fans were on his back. 4 or 5 games later, he's gone. And it's, you know, a lot comes into it, a lot of factors, but that's obviously one of the big ones is how you treat your fans in a way. It is how you treat your fans. You know, what's important to them is what's important to you. And if you disregard it, like Taylor, honestly, Matt, I cannot remember what was said at that time, so I'm not going to comment. But from what you said, if Taylor acted like that, then yeah. If he downplayed it, then he deserved every comeuppance when the match didn't go his way. If Richardson goes into this game saying, I know what it means, we need to beat them, need to feel some pride, this, that, and the other. We go out, we put out a good performance and lose. I don't think a lot of fans will. I think a lot of fans will be upset, but not mad. And I think that is the key line here is as soon as fans are mad is when you're in trouble. And I think if fans are upset, then that's a completely different factor. I think a lot of fans were upset after Ipswich. I think a lot of fans were mad after QPR. And I think seeing the way that we played against QPR and sat back after the goal, didn't really go at him, especially second half, Jesus, it was one of the worst, you know. Anyway, and compare that to the Ipswich game, the game before, and you come out of it with a sense of, okay, this is what we're about. This is how we can play. And you're a bit upset with the result, but you're not, disappointed, upset, whatever. Same thing. If we come out of the game upset, disappointed, whatever, because we thought, you know what, we edged that, I don't think a lot of fans will be calling for it. You take it, which is a bad spot to be in, but it's the spot that we're in. And then if a lot of fans come out of the game thinking, right, furious at that, players didn't try, managers crap, tactics were all off, this, that, and the other, that's when you're in trouble. And to downplay it before a game and then to put out a performance where you think where you're mad at, to get the fans mad even before the game is awful. To get the fans motivated for it before the game can only work in your favour. So if he plays his cards right, we should be all right. Sean Morrison's come out and done the exact right thing. Hopefully his manager follows suit. That's all we can really hope for. But we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. Or is
pretty much just press us tomorrow.
Is something come out? Did I see something come out today about?
A clip of Victor, like a 20-second clip of Victor.
One. Yeah. I haven't watched that, so I can't comment. But let's see. I saw something came out.
Harry says you can tell Liam Richardson's a fan-driven manager coming out clapping the fans before every game. Mentions the fans pre and post match. I think you're right. I don't think he will underestimate it, but I'm just pointing it out.
I noticed that he even clapped the fans after the QPR game as well. I think even though after we were all seething after losing as well, he still came out and clapped us. But I think he sort of cottoned on. We were all very annoyed as well.
I think he's a clever man. I think he understands that fans are massive. I think the fans are so important to any football club. And I think Matt Taylor wasn't the only one to underestimate that. And I think that's one of the things that Matt Taylor got wrong. I think he underestimated fan feeling. But he just, anyway. Ian Bradley says, I was there in 1976 when Dick Haben scored the winning goal against the Pigs at Millmoor. Mick, were you there? Probably, but you can't remember?
I can't remember the game. I do remember. It was one of the few times we beat them. And despite the fact that we did win that game, that was kind of the beginning period of my dislike of games against teams that are close by us but aren't derbies.
Such a perfect way of putting it.
Yeah. If only there was a shorter word you could use for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Shame.
I can't think of one.
Nuttall's in the questions. He also asked a question about Wednesday appointing Danny Rowell and Rotherham appointing League One manager. I think it's had a big bearing since the two have gone. I don't think it makes dividends. I think it's time. I know Nuttall's got his rod out a little bit for that. I think its timing's wrong. I think they appointed Cisco at the start of the season and corrected, and we corrected, but we corrected too late, Danny. That's what's cost our season. That 4 week wait is what is the reason. One of the main reasons for me is why where we are. That 4 week wait killed us.
Yeah, I agree. I think Wednesday took one look at Cisco in actual Football League management and went, "Oh God, what have we done?" Yeah. But there's been a few instances of Chansherry doing that, to be fair. But yeah, like I say, they appointed a young, ambitious manager in Danny Roll, who I think has hit the ground running in all respects, because he'd never managed first team football before, but he'd done very well in Germany.
National team is not.
He's the manager, wasn't
he? Yeah. So he'd done very, very well in Germany. So he sort of still had a little bit of credibility, just not in league football. But I think Rotherham have done the same in Richardson. I still think Richardson's an ambitious young manager. I mean, he came through Accrington Stanley as assistant and then full-time manager, then went to Chesterfield and Portsmouth, I think, not in full management, but in management nonetheless. And then did the same with Wigan and really did well in League One with Wigan. But I think he's still young and ambitious. He's just not cracked the Championship yet. And, you know, it is a little bit of chucking in at the deep end, seeing if we can swim with us this season. But he'll certainly swim in League One next season, I think. And I'm holding on to that. He will do well for us in League One next season.
I think Danny Roll was a gamble as well. And I think if it didn't pay off, then he would have been, you know, they'd be on their third, fourth manager this season. I think Liam Richardson was, you get what you kind of get with him. Like, we knew what we were getting into. It wasn't really a gamble. If we would have gone for a gamble, we might, God knows, we might be in a similar...
It could be worse.
It could, it could be worse. It could be better, but because of what... I mean, could it be worse, actually? I think Roll was a big gamble. Never managed senior level, like actual manager. He could have come in and done awful. You know, like Cisco at Leicester. It's a gamble, and it's one that you take a calculated risk on, and one that paid off. He's done really well, but I think with Richardson, we knew what we were getting. We were getting a stable manager who's done it at teams that are in a lot worse situation than us somehow behind the scenes, and kind of come through it. And I think his interview the other day was really good, how he said, you know, if he's here, if it's 2 weeks, 2 months or 6 years or whatever he said, he'll make the club a better place than when he joined. I think that's a really positive thing, because I think he meant it as well. I remember, I don't ever think, I mean, we interviewed him. I don't ever think Taylor said anything like that. I think he said, "Oh, I want to improve," but I don't think he ever, you know, kind of promised it. Almost like, look, I'm going to come in, do the best I can, and then whatever happens. But Richardson's almost promised, look, it's not going to be this when I'm here. It's going to get better, and it will get better. So yeah, I think we took more of a calculated risk in terms of a secure manager. I think Wednesday took a calculated risk because they could, with a more ambitious manager and one that could do really well, which he has done, or one that could do awfully well and awful. Sorry, and yet to be seen. But I think that
The irony is, we did the scout report with Nuttall, so if you want to go watch that, that's a 10-15 minute jobby. Find a bit more Wednesday. The irony is that they're kind of in the same position as us. I think they're a big club, but they're in the same position as us where they're not all even said it. Danny Roll's destined for bigger and better things. This is not Wednesday, not the be all and end all of getting a guy who's really good and who's going to take us to the Premier League. It's better than us, so that's us. That's not only what we do, innit?
With Danny Roll, it seems like weirdly a catch-22 with him at Wednesday. Like, if he by some miracle keeps Wednesday up, and by some miracle they are kind of on track for that, he will get pinched by a bigger club in the summer, and I'll put money on that. But if he goes down with them, then it sort of goes back into his court whether he wants to manage in League One and get them back up again, or he looks for a job elsewhere.
Yeah,
you know, that feels like the weird catch-22. But I personally think now with Richardson, unless it's an abhorrent start to League One, and I'm talking about not winning the first 10 games in League One next season, he'll still be here.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it feels like he's got more of a project with us, I think, for Richardson.
Depends who's making decisions, doesn't it? Is it Rob Scott?
Yeah, depends on Saturday. If we get a hammering on Saturday and Stuart's been on a couple too many bottles of wine. It could go all sorts.
Although, look at Paul One's first start in League One. We were bottom end at table after the first 15 games. Ended up going up through playoffs.
It was close to getting the sack, I think, though, Warney. I think it was pretty close. And the thing with Warney was that he had masses of credit in the bank. Liam Richards ain't got the credit that Warney has. So anyway.
Yeah, his only credit is with other clubs.
Yeah, it is. Let's talk about the game, Mick, briefly. Shelley says Clucas needs to sit on Bannon other than this game. Other than this season, the last few games, Dan Ballas and Jamie Lindsay have done it and took him out of the game. He ran it this season, take him out, we have a chance. Barry Bannon's always going to cause you problems. And I think, that's one of the things that Roll's done well is that he's understood what Barry Bannon's strengths are, and that's something that Cisco failed on. You've got to keep their best players quiet. Barry Bannon's one of their best players. That goes without saying, really. But then you're taking away the problem with that was, I remember the home game in League One, where I think Dan Barlasser did it and took Barry Bannon basically out of the game, but then Dan Barlasser couldn't do anything. Yeah. So it's you've got to be careful. You've got to strike the right balance because you don't want to take away from what Clucas has been doing really, really well, for example. But it's also important to shut up the back door, basically.
Yeah, it is. It is, and we've got enough experienced players, hopefully, to deal with him in that middle of the park. He's a good player, but he's aging. He's not. Again, and again, this is. I'm not being smart, Alec. He is not the type of player that we've played against and been reasonably successful against. No, we haven't been successful against anybody, have we?
Not this season.
But yeah, man marking him kind of it's kind of waving white flag right from start, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a decent player. Just make sure that he's not allowed to create anything, however that's done, whoever does it. So I can't see Liam Richardson man marking him. I'll be surprised, but I can't see that happening. And then, like you said, the key to that is one of our better midfielders, Sam Clucas. They take him virtually out of the game there. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense, does it? So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Dan Nuttall asked, would he get on your bench? Would you put Bannon on your team after all?
Well, I mean, things have changed since I made that remark. I stand by it when I made it. I don't stand by it anymore. Absolutely not.
And that is that because of our team, though, isn't it?
Yeah. That's precisely what it is. Yeah, we've had no creativity whatsoever this season, and so of course he wouldn't get on bench now.
He wouldn't get on bench.
No, he'd be starting, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Sadly.
Take him off after that. He'd be exhausted.
Josh Caswell says maybe you can stick Cafu on him. It'd be funny watching Cafu sort of run around.
So it's a job for Tiahi, isn't it? Tiahi rather than anyone else, isn't it?
Yeah. Tiahi or Lindsay, if you're going to play Lindsay. Lindsay's brilliant at that. He's done it against much better players than Barry Bannon and kept him so quiet. John S says, let's have some fun. I have a challenge. If Mick shouts Sheffield Wednesday for £300. I love Sheffield Wednesday. I'm not only making you like Mick. I've already made Tom make a stupid bet this season. I'll make you.
I forgot about
that. Why is it always me? I had to wear that damn shirt for a full podcast.
Whose fault was that?
Yeah, but
Mick, if you actually say it, I will lose all respect for you.
But it's for money, Danny.
Doesn't matter. Money can't buy respect, and he'll lose everything if he says it.
True.
I'll have to give that some thought, John, because my wife's in the other room. She'll be throwing an ambulance and having me section.
He says that you just see TV remote going flying across the screen.
John says key to Bannon is stopping the ball, getting to him, and then stopping his options. If you match mark everybody else, keep very tight, then you'll be fine. So, Tom, what do you want to see from us in terms of a setup and sort of personnel? What are you expecting to see? We don't know the update on Cam Humphries, so there's a potential that Cam Humphries could be out, which would be an absolute disaster. Let's assume he isn't fit, because there's a good chance.
Highly likely.
What do you do then? Because you've not no Revan either who can sort of fill in there. You're going to have to play Sean Morrison and Lee Peltier.
Grant Hall. No, I'm kidding.
He went trained today. Did you see him?
Was he?
Could put a video out at the end. He's put a bit of weight on, but he's at the very end of the video.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Is this the same video that the club had to remove because it showed one of the players going for a waz on the side of the pitch? Right, okay.
Not the first time they've done that either, but anyway, let's move on.
I thought I saw Humphries on there and Blackett, so I don't know.
Blackett was definitely there. Yeah.
Does it mean much? I didn't watch it all the way through, unfortunately, but I don't know. I think it's a Lee Peltier situation, isn't it? Which isn't bad. He's a bit of a warrior. He'll know what it means for sure. To watch, to play, and to whatnot. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe them two played the last time we played them, and they were pretty awful at the back.
They got ripped to pieces down right hand side.
Well, I think Morrison and Lembakisa did.
Yeah,
is what my memory is saying.
Morrison and Kyoto might be a different story.
Well,
it'll
be a Dauphin and Kyoto, won't it?
Yeah.
So hopefully it's all right. I mean, that Musaba seems direct and quick from what I've seen. Yeah. Maybe not quite got the end product, but direct and quick really did not suit Lembakisa nor Morrison. So hopefully this team will favour a bit better. I think it's Femi will have to play. I think he looked okay against Ipswich when he came on.
Ipswich, yeah.
And I think he looked bang average, if not a little bit worse for wear against QPR. Yeah. So much so that Richardson had to change him and PK so PK could mark the criminal.
Fair.
Perfect description, fair.
I mean, everyone knew who I meant, so I think it'll be similar to same midfield three. I don't think. Oh, Klukas has picked up something, hasn't he?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't sound as severe, so hope if he's fit, I'd play him. If not, you put Rathbone back in, and he'd do a job in there against their kind of robust midfield. I think it looks like they're going to start with Volks, who we know is a robust midfielder. I think we can combat that pretty well. I wouldn't start Hugo. I don't think I'd ever start Hugo again, in all honesty. So then you're looking at Eves and Nombe, which means that Wyke doesn't get a look in, which I think is fine. I think if you put Eves and Wyke up front, I think you're doing a different kind of dynamic. I don't think Eves is undroppable at the minute. Absolutely criminal if he doesn't play. Like what someone put his stats up, it's like something like, I don't know, like 8 shots, 4 goals or something. I don't know.
I think Eves has got like a goal to minute ratio of like 1 every 200 minutes.
It's less than that. I think it's 1 every 150 or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah. It's one of the best in the league. It's like
second best behind Jamie Vardy.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been saying it so many times. Mental what happens to players' confidence. Like when you play a player with confidence, it's mental what happens. And you see players like Hugo get game in, game out, who like can't finish anyway. If you're watching, sorry, but you can't. You can, it's fine. Some strikers aren't meant to. Whatever. But like if you're playing with confidence, I don't understand the need to drop. I think Yves said it in his interview himself. He's a different animal when he starts, and it's so true. And the confidence that he had to say that, verging on arrogance, which I don't mind, but to say that and then to not play afterwards is it was criminal. After that Blackburn game, when he missed one from under the bar, all right, fair enough, but then got on the score sheet later on, it's confidence, and he bleeds it at the minute. To not play with him, it'll be criminal. Between Nombe and Wyke, depends on how you want to play. If you want, I think Nombe's looked okay. I think just okay. I think Wyke offers more of a goal threat than Nombe, sue me, but you miss that pace up top if he don't play. So be interesting to see what he goes for. If he goes for Wykes and Eves, I'm not Wyke and Eves. I'm not crying. If he goes for Nombe and Eves, it's fine. If he drops Eves or starts Hugill, then I'm upset. But yeah, I'm content with that top 5 in regards to the defense. I don't know what the hell you do.
Yeah, I think I'd be shocked to see Hugill start. Absolutely shocked, to be honest with you. GJ says, whatever you do, don't let Volks get a shot off. Yeah, we know that. We've got that one. Alfie says Siriki is a United loanee, Sheffield United loanee, so that might help get a red card.
Nice. He's from Manchester. My brother's mate's his next door neighbour. Yeah.
Fair enough. We know where to send the abuse to if he gets sent off. Anyway.
I've signed an NDA.
Not all with a bit of the team news. Bernard's been banned with two yellow cards against Bristol City last week. Hickwill is injured, so probably going to be out, which I'm sure he's devastated to know that he's not going to get booed all afternoon. Which leaves them well short at back. I'm pretty sure they try and play 3 at the back, and that's 2 of their best defenders out. Defense is the best form of attack. That's the old saying. And if they are short in that position, you've got to then start early, start strong, because the atmosphere will build. It's a home game. If we start with against QPR, if that was a home game, we'd have gone to win that game. Because it was a Wigan, that's why we struggled. And I think you've got to try and hit them early. Yeah,
We have absolutely, and every time, the few times that we've played particularly well this season is when we've attacked teams. The reason we are in the situation we're in is because of the fact that we've not been aggressive enough in matches, and certainly down at Swillsborough there was absolutely no aggression at all. That was a massive part of it, but that's been carried through a lot of games. So yeah, we need to attack them. If they've got 2 central defenders out, then we need to be playing Nombe up front with some pace. We need to be playing Eves up front to knock them about a little bit. So attack is the best form of defence, particularly given the situation that we're in.
Yeah. Tobias is with us, as always. Love Tobias. He says, a little bit late, so we may have talked about it, but he says, can a win save the season, or is it still a disappointment? I think it means to Danny that we all know we're down, but if you win, is that make up for the position that we're in, Danny? There's a win against Sheffield Wednesday, make up for the season. For me, not enough.
It'll be like a short and quick injection of dopamine, I think.
Until we get battered on Coventry on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those where it's like after how many games is it now? It's over 30.
34, I think.
34. So after 34 games, we've got 19 points. The record for the worst season in the Championship, also held by us, is 23. So, in my view, if we beat 23, season's a success, because that's the most positive thing we can get out of it now. Barring a Warnock-esque great escape, I think a win against Sheffield Wednesday wouldn't save the season, but it'd certainly save a little bit of pride, I think.
I think that's what it means. It's not going to keep us up, but would it make up for the relegation?
Yeah, I think so. I think denying Wednesday the double over is it'd be like in Terminator, where it gives us the thumbs up going into the lava. That's basically us if we beat Sheffield Wednesday.
I think. Would it?
No, exactly. No, it wouldn't. It'd be a different finger. But yeah, that's the vibe if we beat Wednesday, I think.
Fair enough. For me, it's not enough. The season's a disaster. it'd be funny for about a week that we've beaten them, but then it's just not enough. I think if we'd have gone down with, we went down in the COVID season, we did double over them, and we just went down. That was something you could sort of hang your hat on because we've had an okay season and we've done double over them. This season, it's a joke of a season, and you're beating them. Then it just won't be enough, Tom. It just won't be enough to save any sort of grace for the memory bank.
No, it's like having Christmas and your birthday on the same day and getting one present. It's like, is this enough? It's like you have to wait till next year now. It's not worth it. If you name me three reasons that you've enjoyed the season, you couldn't name me two. And
I can name you three. The 3 games we've actually won.
Yeah, true, actually.
The Borough one was a lucky day, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't think I've come out of it. I think the one game I came out of thinking, like, actually being ecstatic was the Coventry win.
Yeah.
Even the Norwich win was like, okay, this is getting the ball rolling. It was early on in the season. I thought, oh, this is great. Like, this is what it's going to be. More of these. Then the Coventry win came a couple months later, and it was like, okay, now the season starts. And then the Middlesbrough win came, and you're like, oh, it's already over. So even there, I don't think there's been. I mean, honestly, the only reason that I still watch the games is because I do this. I think without this, I wouldn't even watch the games. I honest to God, I've got no joy anymore. No physical part of me wants to watch us get battered each week, and I call me a fake fan, whatever. I don't want to spend all this money to go and watch Rotherham get battered, and I can't afford it. It's not sustainable in any kind of way. Which, take it as you will, but slowly but surely the season is just crumbled around me, and I cannot wait for August to come. I really cannot. And a win on Saturday, I think you take it and you're happy. And that, like Danny said, that happiness lasts maybe an hour, 3 hours if you're going out in the pub, but it doesn't last till Monday, I'll tell you that, because Monday will come round and Tuesday will come and you're playing Coventry again and you're like, oh Christ, here we go. And yeah, it's just been the story of our season, really. Just little moments of, okay, here we go, we're getting back on track, and just being knocked down again. And I think if you look at who and what we can have next season for League One, I think that's when you start to get a little bit more. That's the only time I'm excited, really, is when I think about next season. When I read that Klukas wants to stay at us, I thought, this is brilliant. It'll be a class above in League One. You look at the players that we've got long term. It's just we are just, I'm just looking forward to next season, unfortunately, which is a big shame, because I mean, go back and watch any single episode that we did before the season starts. Every single one of us thought mid-table, pushing playoffs. Maybe not quite that, but comfortable, not relegation fodder. And it's just such a shame that we've ended up how we are.
It is, and we've got another.
And Tobias, if you want to give Victor a little poke on the arm just to make him stay for one more year, so he has a league title before he goes elsewhere, that'd help massively as well.
Paul says you can't polish a turd, but if we did win against the Pigs, we'll have kind of polished a turd.
Yeah, that's the worst analogy I've ever heard.
But it also fits
one and the best one at the same time.
Yeah, it fits.
It really works.
It does.
It's got a little shine to it.
Get the spit and polish out, lads. We've beaten Wednesday.
Bradbury says if we can't stay up, it'd be nice to at least take Wednesday down. I said this on last episode, and I stand by it, that we will be unbearable if we win. We all know how much it means in terms of the season. But just for laugh, we'll be completely unbearable for a few days if we manage to beat them. Because that's all we've got. That's all we've got to hang on to for a few days.
Can I be controversial?
Oh,
I don't want Wednesday to go down.
I'm not bothered about them going down, to be honest with you.
I don't want him to go down.
Just still a lot of players we're trying to sign, that's why.
No, not for any other reason other than the fact that I don't want to have to play them again. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't want them near my ground, and I don't want to be near their ground. I don't want anything to do with them at all. I just want rid. We've had too many seasons of them now. They can go where they want to go, so long as it's just away from us. Is
it more that you want them to stay up, or more that you don't care what they do?
I don't care what they do, so long as they keep away from us.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the reality of it is they've got, as has already been pointed out, they've got a pretty reasonable manager. They've got a chairman who if he can get enough actual cash, nothing else through the door, he needs cash, has to be backhanded in a brown envelope. If he can get enough through the door, if they go down, then he'll spend money in League One, and it's somebody else that we've got a battle with for promotion back out of that division. I don't want it. I don't want them.
The problem is if they don't come down, it's Stoke, and they've got a lot more cash than Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have. But what can I say? I love Sheffield Wednesday.
300
quid. 300 quid.
Right, Matt, get rid of him.
300 quid.
I'll ring ambulance to make sure you're not having a stroke or something. Yeah.
Mick's got right to make the next podcast because his wife's sitting him under floorboards.
$1,000 if he comes on the next episode in a Wednesday shirt.
Again.
God.
Again?
Again.
Did you know this, Tom?
I've not seen this.
I'm really sorry because we've gained a lot of viewers since then. So back in the League One season, after COVID, Mick said that Barry Bannon wouldn't even get onto the Rotherham bench. In fairness, we had Dan Barlaser, Ben Wiles, Ollie Rathbone, Hacks was there as well, although he didn't do it, didn't play. And Mick said that Barry Bannon wouldn't get on the bench.
I remember that.
And then then Sheffield Wednesday won, and Barry Bannon suddenly re-emerged on Twitter after having years off. Saying so Mick must have been drunk while he did it. So Mick said that if he raised 500 quid or whatever it were for Rotherham Hospice, that he'd wear a Wednesday shirt for the podcast. Not only that, Barry Bannon sent us a signed Wednesday shirt, so we auctioned that off. Mick was meant to wear the Barry Bannon shirt, but he could not get the Barry Bannon shirt.
Okay, that's
it was 11 to 12, so I couldn't get it on.
So yeah, again, Nuttall's in the comments. It was Nuttall's shirt you wore on that day, Mick.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was. So yeah, that was that.
I don't know how you do it, Nuttall. It's just it made my eyes bleed.
It's difficult seeing somebody you like in a Sheffield Wednesday shirt. Even my friends or friends seeing a Sheffield Wednesday shirt, I don't like it. It just looks. No. Yeah. Anyway,
was I on that podcast as well when Mick was wearing the Wednesday shirt?
You must have been.
I'll
dig it out.
I must have put it into the dark recesses of my mind because it was too traumatic to remember.
It was back before we did it live. It was pre the live days. It's on YouTube. I'll find it on YouTube and scar everybody. Yeah.
Do you remember before game starts? Do you remember when this happened?
Yeah. We had a question from Will Box was a pre-match press conference day, and apparently when he went to Cardiff, Mick, he was in talks to join Sheffield Wednesday and turn Sheffield Wednesday down. I don't know why, because it's so massive, but anyway. Would your feelings, and Wayne's asked me this question, would your feelings or thoughts have changed had he gone direct to Sheffield Wednesday from Rotherham United for the £2 million he went to Cardiff for? Because we all don't mind Will Box. It seems quite a good relationship we have with him, even though it's blue and white.
My feelings towards players going directly down to Hillsborough are not the same. I don't think. You may well tell me differently. I don't know, but I don't have the same vitriol towards players who go there. We did the emergency podcast when Icky and Smithy went. And I were criticised by lots and lots of Wednesday fans in the comments saying, how annoyed I was about it all and everything. I wasn't. I didn't blame them one bit because they went for the money. They were both of them are coming towards not the back end of their careers, but certainly weren't early on in their careers, and they were never going to get the opportunity to make that amount of money anywhere else. Assuming that Chansiri is still paying him, I don't know. He may not be doing.
Who knows?
Because he has got previous for that. So as far as Will Vaulks is concerned, he's a hell of a bloke. The stuff he does outside of football is remarkable. So I haven't got a bad word for him. I mean, it's a shame that he's gone there, but that
it was good how he dug out the fans though.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
I
quite.
did like that. I did like that. But having said that, though, Tom, you know we've got the same fans, or we've got fans doing the same thing. You know, so
No,
nah,
agreed. It's like you said. It's social media, isn't it? It's like you said.
yeah, it is absolutely
true. But when was the last time Rotherham sang "You're not fit to wear the shirt"? I can't remember it.
Yeah, but when was how many times have you gone on Twitter and seen people tag the player individually and berate them for, this, that, and the
one
other.
bad game or whatever, or liking tweets,
or refusing to play,
to play when he's ill. Actually, yeah.
So
Harry says Will reckons he'll go for Volks out of contract, and we tried to go in January, didn't we? If Wednesday stay up and they're serious about staying up, I think they'll want to be looking better than Will Volks. Don't know. Let's wait and see. That's a conversation for.
Imagine a midfield of Volks, Adoffin, Rathbone, fingers crossed, Lindsay, Clucas, and Riminota.
Yeah.
Thierry.
And Thierry as well.
Yeah.
There's some fight in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
But all you're doing there, Danny, is adding one more player into the mix that, in addition to what we've already got. Assuming they're
next season.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Do you want to do some predictions?
Not especially, but let's get it over with.
Tom, you're first on my list, I'm afraid.
We at home?
Yes.
3-1.
Doing to us?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think Tom might need the ambulance as well.
Do I get points for a win?
Yeah.
All right, then. I'll go all out. 3-1. Win.
Fair enough. Danny?
Well, on the Wednesday podcast, I know it still feels weird saying that. He said about doing the head and heart prediction. So I'm going to go with my heart prediction for the actual one that gets written down. My football head says Wednesday will win 2-1, but my heart says the reverse will happen. We're going to win 2-1. Tom Eaves is going to score in added time to finally put that duck to bed about Wednesday beating us in added time. Airball was going to come out. He'll be jumping to the crowd, shirts off, everything. We finally beating Wednesday at home in front of fans.
Okay. Fair enough. Mick? Mick's going to win, obviously.
I'm gonna put my faith in Victor to keep a clean sheet.
Oh,
you're mad.
I don't think he's managed. He's had enough assistance this season to be able to manage it yet. I think he'll get it on Saturday, assuming that Cam Humphreys plays. I'm going to go 2-0 Rotherham.
Okay. I've gone the opposite of all that. I've gone 3-1 Wednesday.
And how much does not all pay you to say that, Matt?
Yeah, I'm genuinely worried this will get silly because if we don't turn up and they smell blood, they will go. They've got the momentum to really take this game away from us, and they've sort of started to find a little bit of quality, which again we'll probably have to keep them up. Kim says 1-0. Nathan Crabtree says 2-1 to us, as does Steve Grundy and Josh Caswell. Harry says, unfortunately, 1-2 to them. Sorry, he's got a feeling. Andy P says 3-1 to us and comfortable. Same as you, Tom. Like it. John S. Less.
Comfortable, yeah. 4-1. I won't put comfortable after it, though.
No. Reg says 4-3 to the Millers in a scrappy game. Well, that sounds stressful. Chris Page says 2-0 to them. Ex-Rotherham player to score. CJ says 2-1 to the Millers. Martin Holland says 1-1. Sarah Oliver says 2-0 to the Pigs. Richard says 2-0 Millers. Mike Little says 1-2 to Wednesday. Sarah Ogden, again, 2-0 to Wednesday. Tobias agrees with you. Mick says it's win 1-0. Michael Carnell says 3-1. And Heavy Metal RUFC says 3-2. Nuttall says a boring 1-1. Scott Kent's with me. 3-1 to the Owls. Pigs. Get it right, Scott. It's yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say. This season's becoming just an episode. Each episode is me just going. Because
we have to have a side counter for every single episode now.
We will, and if we lose, there'll be more. Scott can guess it right. Thank you very much, Scott. Pigs, well done. Ref is David Webb. Thank you. People have got always around me because I always forget. Thank you, David Webb. Referee. most notable is the COVID season. He sent off Angus MacDonald, correctly sent off Angus MacDonald, and correctly gave us a penalty as well that game, from what I remember. I think did Freddie miss the penalty? Yeah. So there we go. That's something.
Well, our track record with Wednesday and penalties is that we miss them anyway, so that won't do any good.
That's true, actually.
And I don't want to see Cafu do a Panenka against Wednesday. Like, my heart will not be able to take that at all.
No. Agreed.
Go on, mate. If I remember rightly, from the referee's angle, it was a correct decision, but in reality, the Norwich player did what Norwich players do and made the most of it, shall we say.
Okay.
I seem to remember quite a lot of debate about that because it did look like one initial showing, but it was clear afterwards that it wasn't.
Fair enough.
That's anyway.
Rich is asking, does the My Beard stay if we go to League One? I don't want to be in summer with this. You know, when it's like 40 degrees. It'll be horrible.
Yeah, that's exactly why. It's punishment for agreeing.
Should we include pre-season? So if we're winning pre-season, Matt can actually shave his beard.
Seems like a cop out. I don't know if we beat Stocksbridge 4-0 or whatever. It just seems a bit of a cop out.
How about this? If Hammerby win during the summer, then you can get rid of the beard.
They're always going to win, though, aren't they?
Are they?
Well, they'll win. More chance of us winning.
No, yeah, sure.
I don't like it. It's horrible. Look at it. It's horrible.
I think we'll take a vote on it at the end of the season, Matt.
Yeah.
We are a
democracy. Chances then, do I?
It's going to be like Russian elections. We know what the outcome's going to be of the vote anyway.
Hey, it's a fix.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If we win between now and the end of the season, it's irrelevant, isn't it? But yeah, I might. Maybe not 40 degrees, but you know. The worry is that if it's like in August and we win the first game, my face will be all sort of tanned up to here, and I have a shave and it's just big and white. It's there. So there's some issues. Harry says safe travels to the Wednesday fans making their journey from Wickersley.
I think we need to. I think you need to email Sam Todd as well for the. When they put the away supporters travelling however many miles, and
away supporters have all travelled up on the X1.
They should put having travelled 0 miles.
Yeah. Safe travels to the Sheffield Wednesday fans who have made the long trek from Doncaster.
Yeah. Nathan Crabtree says, "I kind of shave and put a fake beard on." It's true. Yeah, feel like cheating, and we're not. This is not the Patrick Bamford podcast. He's got his own. We don't cheat on here. Yeah. Anything else, lads? We've got not even an hour on biggest game at season, biggest game in the universe. We've not even done a full hour on that. Do you want to?
Yeah. We've lost 25 points from winning positions this season.
Yeah.
25. I reckon we can make it a solid 30, 33.
Yeah. That's
yeah. When people say we don't have the quality, yes, we don't. But at the same time, we don't have the mentality. Mentality is too far away. Psychologically, we're way off it. We don't think we deserve to be in this league, and we show it. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. But 25 points is a joke. We'd be comfortably mid-table if, obviously, hypothetically, we win every single game from winning position. You don't. 21 points, maybe, from that, and you kind of think maybe. So, yeah.
That stats me want to go to the off license.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? It's bad. 25 from winning positions.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, Richard Brown asks, do any of us come from Sheffield? I don't think so.
No.
What, Wednesday fans? No. Like Man United fans, they don't come from Manchester, they're all from London.
No. Yeah.
I'm sure in the many years I've been around, I'm sure I must have met some, but I can genuinely, off the top of my head, can't think of anybody. And I know quite a few Wednesday fans. I know I've worked with many over the years. And off the top of my head, I can't think of any that came from Sheffield. I'm sure there must be, but there you
go. Yeah. Matt Miller says, I hope the missus likes my beard. Yeah, I don't think it's making me that popular.
Really, I should have done this challenge because my lass actually likes my facial hair.
Yeah. Also, yours probably goes better than mine. You know, there's like big gaps in it. It's just a joke. I'm really sorry for this conversation.
The gap for mine's like a weird reverse bald spot. Like, you know how blokes tend to get bald spots on the back of their head? Mine's not underside of my chin here.
We should have got Mick to do it, to be fair. Mick, I've got a question. I've seen a picture the other week about that Burnley fan who had his face in checkered squares that said "Up the Clarets" in it. You remember the picture I sent you on Twitter, on X?
I do remember it, yeah.
What would it take for us to be allowed to do that to you?
Oh, God.
Are we still on air? Are we finished?
Look, we're all about bringing some smiles and happiness to people's lives, bearing in mind the absolute joke of the season that we're having. And I'll tell you what, Rotherham would be a happier place to see you in red and white checkered.
The only downside to that is that's like Wickham's away kit, isn't it? Red and white checkers.
I think so.
Yeah.
But we can steal it. We can steal it for one laugh.
I know it'd take me to do that.
I'll tell you what, Josh has hit the nail on the head. If we go up as champions next season, I'll give that some consideration.
No. Confirm.
I'd say for me personally, it'd be Rotherham going to a cup final again. Then I'd do it.
Right. So we got a striped one. Can I interest you in a stripe?
Yeah,
that'll do. Oh no, actually no. I tell you what we can do. If by some miracle we have a chance of staying up on the last game of the season, that's when all of us have to do it.
I think it's a guy who does it because there's one with little circles, little blue circles all over his face. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. Hearts. Which is
great for the audio podcast, this, Matt.
Yeah, all right. I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
So when are we doing this? Sorry, the way this works for Mick is because he's bald. We don't have to shave his heads to do it.
Why does he look like a weird English version of the Blue Man Group, but he's just a Burnley fan?
I don't know. That's the point. So what's it taking, Mick? Sorry, I was too busy looking.
When we go up as champions next season.
That seems unlikely. All right.
Yeah, what if by some miracle we are we have a chance of staying up on the last day of the season?
This season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Danny.
I'll do it. I'll paint my face red and white if we have a chance of staying up on the last game of the season.
You could probably do anything, to be honest with me. I'm probably to pay £1 million to a charity of choice. It's not going to happen.
Yes, that's why I'm saying it, Matthew. But if, and I know it's a pretty big if, but if there is a chance, you can all hold me to it, and I will do it on the last game of the season.
Okay.
It's
never meant that.
It's against Cardiff. It's against Cardiff at home, isn't it? Last game of the season. Yeah. There you go.
It's going to rain anyway, so you'll all run, Danny.
Exactly. Even safer bet as well.
Right. Anything else? We've gone stupid, but we've had a laugh about it. Remember the homework. This is if we get spanked 4-0, this is going to be really tough. But if you can find something happy and positive and funny from Saturday, let us know on Sunday, or let us know beforehand if you want. I suppose we'll try and remember, and then we'll talk about that. Hopefully, we have a positive result to talk about. It'd be very Rotherham United to have the season we've had and then beat them. It'd be very Rotherham United to do so. But let's see. Let's wait and see what happens. Last call, boys. Anything else?
No.
Oh, good.
Perfect. Thank you all for being with us tonight, Mick. Thank you. I'll see if I'll get in contact with someone who can paint, and we'll come back to you on that.
Oh, my mum knows how to face paint.
Oh, there we go. Good stuff. Danny, thank you very much, mate. It's a good laugh.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for having me again.
And Tom, a pleasure as always. Always good having you on.
Always good group therapy, boys. Always good group therapy.
And we all might need some more in a few days' time. So join us on Sunday for that. Oh, the instant reaction will be out Saturday as well. That could be good, depending on how Saturday goes.
If we lose 4-0 in the instant reaction,
could be a must-watch. Let's wait and see. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. And as always, up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Oh, wrong button again. Why do I keep pressing wrong buttons? Why do you give the IT to the old giver?
Oh, God.
I can't believe that.
Don't shoot at goal because Mick's secretly using the controller and keeps pressing pass.
Oh,
Love you, bye. Love you, bye. Love you, bye.
Slides into Wales, Wales through a goal, slots it beyond Foderingham, and the Millers are in front in the South Yorkshire derby. And for the first time in 42 years, Rotherham United win at Bramall Lane. On the edge of the box, the Dauphin, he can hit them, and he does. The Dauphin has scored an absolute screamer for Rotherham United. Rotherham United have secured their championship status for next season.